Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to share with you guys the best class setup for the new ISO, the Conduit blueprint. This is a brand new blueprint available in the Season 5 Battle Pass here in Modern Warfare, and it's actually a pretty decent one. I wanted to adjust some of the attachments to make this weapon the best that we can possibly make it. This is going to be a more medium to long-range SMG class setup for this ISO. As most of you guys know that watch the channel, know that I post a lot of very aggressive SMG class setups. This one is going to be a little bit different. The original blueprint is meant to do well from medium range, so I wanted to keep that aspect of this weapon and not change it up too much. You guys can already tell if you guys take a look at what I'm using. We are using an optic on this thing because I'm not the biggest fan of the ISO iron sights, and I think you'll do much better with this playstyle by running an optic on this ISO. So I hope you guys are going to like these attachments and we'll be able to do really good with it. What you're watching right now is me demonstrate what this specific class setup is going to play like, so you guys get an idea of what it is before you even throw these attachments on. Hopefully you guys can get a better look and understanding of what this gun's going to play like. Again, you want to play a little bit more defensive instead of just bum rushing spawn every time, but you should be able to do good with this weapon regardless of your play style. So if you guys take a look at the attachments that we're going to be using, we're not going to be running a muzzle. The barrel that we're going to be using is the FSS Revolution. This is going to give you damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control as most barrels do, and give us a really nice boost to that accuracy, range, and control to help us do better from distance. So the FSS Revolution barrel. We're not going to be using a laser. Now, the optic that we're going to be using is the Solo Zero Optics Mini Reflex. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the iron sights, and because I want to be able to do well from medium to long range with this thing, I'm using this Mini Reflex. Now, if you have another optic that's more of your personal preference, I would recommend sticking to that. I wouldn't really change it up too much because that'll obviously change your playstyle and maybe make it a little bit more difficult for you. So if you have an optic that you feel a little bit more comfortable with, like a holographic sight or maybe one of the other Mini Reflexes, I would recommend sticking to that. But for this specific class setup in this video, we're using the Solo Zero Optics Mini Reflex. The stock that we're going to be using is the FTAC Vagrant. So as you guys can see, we're getting ADS speed with this, and we're only losing aiming stability, which is technically nothing. As most of you guys know, this only affects idle sway, which we're not going to have on an SMG. So essentially, we're getting a free ADS Pro with this attachment. It shows in the stats that we're losing accuracy and control, but keep in mind, a lot of the times with some of these attachments, the stats will lie to you. But the FTAC Vagrant is what we're going to be using here, or however you don't want to pronounce that. The underbarrel that we're going to be using is the Commando foregrip. So if we were playing super aggressive with this SMG, I would recommend the Merc foregrip for the hipfire accuracy and recoil control. However, because we are playing a little bit more medium range, we're going to go with the Commando foregrip. What's also really great about this Commando is that you're not losing more ADS speed. This is why I run Commando on most of my class setups instead of some of the other underbarrels that you can use, because I want to save that ADS speed, because generally I play super aggressive. But with this, you're getting recoil stabilization. Again, the Aiming Stability Pro isn't really going to affect anything, so just kind of disregard that. But the Commando foregrip underbarrel is what we're using here. We're not running any extra ammunition. I don't think it's really necessary with this ISO. And last but not least, the rear grip that we're using is the FTAC Elite ISO grip. With this, we're getting more ADS speed as well as sprint to fire speed, which, as you guys know, is a really important pros to have here. With that sprint to fire speed, getting those first shots off will make all the difference, giving you a nice little boost of mobility. And again, the only con is aiming stability. So again, essentially a free 2 pros here with ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. But again, that FTAC Elite ISO grip. But I'll give you guys one last look at all the stats and attachments that come with this specific ISO, the Conduit blueprint. If you guys have any questions about the original blueprint or the class setup that I share with you in this video, please make sure to leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure and try to help some of you guys out. But I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.